What's going on, everybody? It is IllumiGnostic. Let me just get over here and mute this because otherwise I think we're going to have some delay. Hopefully that did it. um, Let me know if there's echo. It's always, it's first world problems, but my computer resets all the settings internally every single time I turn it off. I don't know why, and I can't figure it out. So that's why I'm always having these issues. I have to go through and do everything all over again every time I stream. So, crazy world we're living in these days, you guys. I've been looking more and more for things that are inspiring and interesting and that hold promise because all of the chaos, the chaostrophe that threatens to push us all off of the. Can't hear any echoing, or you can't hear anything because of echoing. um, what was I saying? The world is crazy and it's scary and it's uncertain, and so I've been looking around a lot for things to capture my fascination and to share with people. Because I live in the Amazon rainforest, and it's not really difficult for me to stay in the mystery and to witness the beauty and to bathe in the fountain and to cry like a widow and whatever else he says in that song. Today I was late getting the live stream started because I was out getting gold out of the river. I bought a sluice, and it is a crazy feeling when you mix the pan up and you look and there's actually gold in the pan. It's like, what? Really? Are you serious? And so I found a little bit, and then we got a sluice, and now there was a lot because that's what sluices do. I mean, not a ton. I'm not getting rich, but it's definitely the equivalent of like a day job in the United States, and I'm not even in a very good spot. Right on, Gabby. Stop by and see us. The jungle is an extraordinary habitat. And it may be inside of a black hole. This idea I find really interesting because there have been a couple of questions in physics that uh, really bother physicists and other people like me. I wouldn't say I have gold fever, but I definitely have a fever to maintain my independence and decide what I do with every moment of my day. And so, searching for gold is, well, I mean, because I know it's there, So it's just another way for me to have a stream of income that does not require me to punch a clock. Um, and also, I can, when people come down to see us, I can teach you to do it. And gold is actually not that uncommon, and the price is about the double probably like overnight. So it's a good time to be learning to prospect. And you just got to learn a little bit, and it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. Gold is not that uncommon if you live in a gold bearing area. And so, by the way, you guys hit the like button, share, subscribe, support us on Patreon. We are down a lot of patrons this month, so we appreciate you signing up and joining our secret streams, which we're going to have right after this. Right after this. So, if you're curious and you want to just sign up for a month, um, and and see if you like it, $10, you can join the secret streams, and you're gonna get your mind blown because we are going through a book written by a 33rd degree Freemason, and it's just all sorts of ridiculous in there. Um, but we were talking about this black hole thing, and the thing is that we know the universe is expanding, and the question has been for a long time, into what? Into nothingness? Okay, what is that? Nothingness is something that we can't not even define. There's no way to even talk about it. It's not the absence of it's not black because that's black. It's not clear because that implies light. So what is not clear but also not black? Like nothing is just, is it the absence of consciousness? What is nothing? Anyways, so the universe is expanding into nothing. And that's problematic to an extent, but what's even more problematic is that it's expanding into nothing faster than the speed of light, which is a big problem for relativity and Einstein's stuff, which is pretty widely accepted as the standard. And so there has been this observation that black holes will actually slurp up light. Um, And so it takes a tremendous amount of force to bend light because light is moving. Oh, hold on, I got to get this porn bot out of our chat because it's dildos. Man, there it's like, hey, I do I not have? Okay, yeah, I can. Huh? It's fighting me. Put user in timeout. Hide user on this channel. Oh, I should have reported it. Okay, so anyways, it's expanding the universe faster than light. Black holes eat light. So, being a layman, my thoughts about this was that, okay, so the inside of a black hole is expanding faster than light, and that is what would cause it to suck so hard that light gets swallowed in. And of course, that's a terrible layman's analogy, but it's not entirely wrong exactly because it is that uh, accruing more and more mass that gives it that ability to bend gravity and to suck up light. An interesting thing, though, is they say it's impossible once you have passed the event horizon to go back out, even if you're light. And light was videoed coming out of a black hole 2 years ago or something, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" So we are in a universe where we cannot perceive we know there's more stuff out there, but we can't see it, which would be exactly the case if you were inside of a black hole looking at the event horizon. It would always be, we are looking at light. That's all we can see. Everything that we see is a reflection of light. And so this fact that we can't see it implies that the edge of the universe is moving faster than light. Well, what would be moving faster than light? A black hole inside of a black hole. And there's something else that really sort of, it may be better evidence because what I just described was a bit of a bastardization, technically, although I don't think it's unfair to use the analogy that I used. Because, as we are seeing more and more, there's really, one set of fundamental laws that's governing everything that happens in the universe. And so this idea that something is sucking hard enough to suck light in because it's expanding inside faster than light is maybe an abuse of physics, but it's not an abuse of reason. At any rate, maybe more interesting and to the point is the fact that if you try to make a black hole, and this is one of the reasons why Nassim Haramein is just totally full of it. By the way, I'm sorry, I know a lot of people really like that guy and believe him, but he is absolutely a fraud without any possibility of question. And so it doesn't mean everything he says is incorrect, but a lot of the things he says are so incorrect that I even know that he's making the math up as an untrained layperson, just looking at the equations. I'm like, that's just fake. And one of the things that he says is that I think every proton is actually a tiny black hole. There's just no way. And he also says that every proton has the same mass as the entire universe or something, which is just like, what is that? What is he? It's just garbage. Anyways, so a proton, in order to turn a proton into a black hole, it would be so tiny that you would it's just ridiculous. So what do we have with more mass? There is a black hole in the solar system. I think it's somewhere around Jupiter that is the size of an apple. And in order to make a black hole the size of an apple, you would need as much mass as there is in the entire solar system, right? So they having this sort of ratio of like how much energy do we need to compress in order to make a black hole the size of the known universe. And now remember that there's a difference between the visible universe and the known universe because we know it's there, but we can't see it. So, in order to make a black hole the size of the visible universe, you would need as much mass as there is in the known universe, which implies, I may have it backwards, but that's the gist of it, that the amount of mass relative to the size of a black hole actually is correct. You know, a black hole that could be the size of the universe. And so, what does that mean for us? It means absolutely nothing. Uh, I mean, in the long run, it doesn't mean anything. It's kind of like simulation theory. Uh, who cares in a way? Because even if there are aliens somewhere that have created a very, very advanced program or technology, like quantum computing combined with AI, which is our next subject, you know, we're never getting out of this black hole if we're in one. We're never going to see the event horizon. So it's just an interesting idea. And I think that it's interesting to me, anyways, that I have sort of always intuited that black holes are gateways into other parallel universes. And so, if it turns out that we're able to confirm that we are inside of a black hole and we are a universe, then the same could be true for all of the other black holes that we perceive. There are universes inside of every one of those black holes, or parallel dimensions, or something to that effect. So super cool idea, even if it doesn't turn out to be correct. But I have a feeling it is. You know, I mean, the fact that the universe is expanding at the speed of light, and black holes eat light. Are we lagging really badly or something? Our numbers just keep dropping and dropping, and this is interesting stuff. Um, I know I didn't do the best job of explaining the black hole thing because I had planned to get back here 2 hours before the stream, but I was finding gold, so I just couldn't leave the sluice. Um, and so, okay, so now let's get into some even scarier territory. That whole black hole thing and the time crystals I want to talk about, maybe at some point, although, you know, if you guys haven't watched that video where Physics Girl explains it, she does a better job at explaining the technical. Oh, yeah, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, the streaming, it just sucks here. But what you can do um, is pause the video, wait 10 seconds, and then play it again, and it'll stop. So, okay, so yeah, if you're experiencing lag, all you can do is pause. I'm in the jungle, there's nothing I can do about it. Or you can just watch this after the stream, but I would rather hear that there's lag than just that I was like uninteresting or something. And people, because it's not me. This is a good subjects, you know. Okay, so here is some scary shit, you guys. If you are afraid of anything, you had better go away now. I'll give you a second to vanish. Um, because everyone knows that AI could cause, or could, it poses potentially a huge problem for humanity, because uh you know, even nature does not conserve things when they're obsolete, right? If there's no necessity for a creature, it is subject to de-emphasis and de-evolution. It's basically goes extinct. By the way, guys, hit the like button, share, subscribe. I see 11 viewers, only 5 likes. We're demonetized. The algorithm ignores me, so I really do appreciate your assistance in making these videos look attractive to people by having stacks and stacks of likes on them. But yeah, so AI is potentially a huge problem because one little AI bot can do the work of an entire skyscraper full of humans, and you know, it doesn't eat, it doesn't want to get paid, it doesn't produce much waste, and so, you know, we already have a massive population of humans that are already obsolete. You know, a lot of people believe there's a depopulation agenda. I'm not interested in commenting about that because I have like one more strike and my channel's done. So I'm not going to get into like my personal opinion on that. Plus, you know, I don't think a lot of people can really handle the truth. But you know, people. Let's put it this way: there's two options at this point. You can put millions and millions and millions, probably actually billions of people on UBI, or you can depopulate. Those are your options, and they are definitely, you know, people think that it's a satanic conspiracy to make everyone gay or whatever. But if you were the king of the world and you got a top secret letter on your desk and it said everyone on Earth is going to die unless the population decreases, and, you know, I know bleeding heart liberal types like to say, well, we can just put solar panels everywhere and save everyone. And it's like, no, the infrastructure, you know, the infrastructure has to be put into place. The brakes would have to be put on from where while all this is happening. The oil companies would have to just give up and get out of the way. It's just not really viable. So, you know, this is just a hypothetical here, but let's just say you're that person. What are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and try to encourage everyone to stop breeding so that you don't have to kill so many people. That's what you're going to do if you're managing the Earth, right? So I think, you know, they can't just come right out and say it, but they're doing what they've got to do to discourage the death of the entire planet. I mean, we have used like 90% of the living resources in the ocean are gone. They were there in 1970. The Amazon rainforest will be completely gone by the 2030s at this rate. You know what I mean? Like, and I know a lot of people out there like to say, well, the green thing is a conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. You guys need to think about who your information is coming from. Key bono, who benefits? The billionaires that are already oil companies and stuff. That's why they've got this crap coming out of your mouth. You know, the environment is sensitive. It's totally fucked up. You can't just run amok on a planet and expect everything to be okay. Everything is cause and effect. You know, it's just silly to think that things can continue the way they are. I don't know how people don't realize that green energy is a conspiracy is just big oil propaganda coming out of your mouth. That's all it is. But at any rate, so we have AI and quantum computing. And so we already know that AI kind of poses a threat to obsolescence for like most of humanity, all these office workers, and you know what I mean? It's a hairy situation. But then when you consider that quantum computing is slated to be efficient enough to actually use and employ in 10 years, give or take, probably faster, because whatever predictions we make about technology, it's always going to be exponentially faster than people are expecting, unless, you know, a new religion comes along and makes everyone stupid and slows down the evolution of sciences, as happened with Christianity and Islam. But that's doubtful at this point. You know, it's pretty much an inevitability that it's just going to happen really, really fast. Okay, so quantum computers work on qubits instead of regular bits. So in a classical computer, you have ones and zeros, and that is a state that has collapsed from one possibility, you know, or the other possibility. In a quantum computer, you have a bunch of qubits in superposition. And so they will not, they're like a 1 or a 0 until they're measured and then they collapse. And so the problem with that is that you have this big spread of qubits in a superposition, and they're just not efficient because there's so many things basically that are going into making a computation that it's just, they're still trying to basically streamline the process, but they will. And when they do, it's going to be possible for one computer in 1 minute to make computations and process information that would have taken years for the best computers in the world right now. Think about that. And that means that once you connect that to an AI, human beings have no fucking chance of, I mean, we might survive, but we are going to be, I don't think that we can even conceive of what will happen when artificial intelligence and quantum computing intersect. It's gonna be fucking crazy. And you know, it is said that quantum computers, or AIs, excuse me, are totally objective, in which case they'll probably want to get rid of humans. So, yeah, I mean, that is just the craziest thought. And something else that it reminded me of is that there's this idea that we're approaching a singularity where we're going to be able to download our consciousness into a computer. And my guess is that when that AI collides with quantum computing in its fully realized, fully functional state, that is going to be a catalyst that's going to drive consciousness to a place that no one ever could have conceived of before that. In fact, my best guess is that consciousness is actually the most precious thing in the universe to the universe. And so its highest priority is to evolve higher and higher expressions of consciousness. And so the whole entire purpose of the existence of human beings could very likely be to create AI and then to catalyze that AI with quantum computers. And then, we're just all gone. But then maybe we won't care because we will have downloaded ourselves into this singularity. And maybe that already happened and we're just in a loop going back and going back and going back and going back. This actually is a theory in physics called quantum loop theory. And it has also been my own intuition for 20 years or something. I had an acid trip or something. I don't know where it came from, honestly, but I just somehow knew that there was nothing basically, and then nothing became conscious because of an oscillating wave and light that arose from that. And once this process was initiated through a process of replication by means of reflection, it complexified and complexified until it created the 10,000 things that the Buddhists talk about. And this process of fulfilling possibilities continues until all of the possibilities that are possible within the parameters defined by the laws of the universe, once they're all fulfilled, it reverses and the light consumes itself and it collapses back into the singularity, which is when all of the energy is, because it can't be destroyed, it can only transform. So it doesn't have any substantive anything. So it collapses back into this tiny, 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 tiny singularity and then explodes and starts over again. Hopefully, there is a record of what happened before so that it's not exactly the same over and over and over again, because it totally could be. And in fact, it most likely would be. That's the craziest thing about this. Because the circumstances, every individual detail would be exactly precisely the same when it returned to that singularity as it was the last time, and the process would start over exactly the same way. Now, because one of the laws of the universe is that there's an exception to every rule, so if you do like an experiment in physics, 212 trillion times or something, which we actually do. It's possible because we do experiments in physics they're not even nanoseconds. They're just like incredibly tiny fractions of time. And that's why it's possible to do a billion of these in 2 seconds, these little experiments with energy. And so, but if you do this experiment a billion times or trillion times, you might have one time where it just has nothing to do with the rest of the results. And that is an expression of this law that there's an exception to every rule. And there's this element of chaos that enters into the system and causes variance. And so, um, my hope is that it will recycle with memory instead of just starting over and being exactly. And the reality is that it would probably be only very slight changes with every revolution of this thing. But this is where time crystals enter the picture, because time crystals are able to retain memory of their previous states. And this is a relatively new discovery. No one's totally sure what it means. Well, yeah, that's the point of the universe, kind of. Of course we destroy ourselves. It's creation and destruction. It's an inevitable part of the process. I mean, it's all will be renewed by fire, right? Isn't that what it says in the Bible? Um, or no, that's what it said on the cross, right? It was engraved into the cross. Um, okay, so time crystals are at least one um, instance where we can see that subatomic particles have, through some unknown mechanism, retained memory of a previous state. And so if our consciousness is energy, and it returns to this energetic state, we now have a basis for understanding or knowing that it is possible for energy that is in a quantum state to remember things. And to take it even a step further, because light is consciousness, or consciousness is light, or something, chicken or the egg, whatever. But these time crystals can be made in pure light. So even if we return to our most fundamental state in the light, we now know that it's possible to retain information as beings of pure light. It's a fact now. Okay, so we went through the time crystals. We talked about AI and quantum computers. Was there something else on the list? Being trapped in a black hole. And I managed to give it all conceptual continuity and tie it all together at the end. And that's I'm not really boasting because I didn't do that on purpose. It just it's the subconscious just it arranges that stuff, and then something has a plan before we realize that there's a plan. So see 613. I am going to jump over to my secret stream with my patrons. If you guys want to join, you'll have about 5 minutes. Also, when you join the Patreon, you can see all of the secret streams that have ever happened, and there's also patron-only content and stuff. So by the way, I don't know if I put the Discord in this video, but if you're interested in joining our Discord, it's pretty expansive. There's all kinds of different subjects, and one of our patrons put it together for me, and it's really just she really outdid herself. I wasn't expecting such an elaborate community to be there all of a sudden, but it is. So join it. Discord, it's free, but then we have patron only rooms where we're going to have secret streams and exchange secret information amongst the IllumiGnostic. I wish we could retain our memories. Well, we do retain our memories across lifetimes, I think. I mean, I have known all kinds of stuff my whole life that I didn't know that I knew, because I would discover it externally, in books and stuff, and then realize, wait a minute, I knew all this stuff about Hermeticism already, or you know what I mean? Since I was a little kid, what the fuck is that about? So, I have a good bit of confidence that we do have. Also, time crystals they can be pure light and still retain information. So I wouldn't give up on that idea, Volkish. But thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. I do need to go over and do the patron only stream. I may even jump on and play some music later. Yep. And I think I know how to fix my DAW finally. I'm going to give that a try after the patron only stream. So thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. I hope this was miggity mind blowing, and always feel free in my community area, if you're a subscriber, to post suggestions for other topics. Also, please comment. We got to do everything we can to push this channel, since it's the algorithm is ignoring it, right? So, I mean, it doesn't totally ignore it, but it gives it a lower priority. Yeah, so I really could use your support getting this channel back up there. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. And then there are options to support. Also, we still have a few spots open on our retreats where, we use plant medicine to heal our traumas, and we have discussions about Hermeticism and the mystery traditions, and we go on excursions into the jungle and adventures and stuff. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again very soon.